Hey folks! Welcome back to Let's Play Jade Cocoon! In our last episode, the game kicked my ass, and as a result, I returned to the main base and improved my team. To which the game responded by stubbornly refusing to respawn my tormentors. Seriously, last episode, these Cyclops things kicked my ass from pillar to post, but in the run back to the point where I left you guys, absolutely nothing. Anyways, we're playing through the Netherworld Dragonfly Forest, and I've come this way because in the Light World, there was a boss this way. I don't know if the game's going to recycle the forests wholesale, but it kinda seems like they would, you know? Oh, and that is a bad roll right off the bat. There is no right answer here. Although with that said, I think I will go for Trish, because the last time I fought one of those dragon guys, it didn't do a great deal of damage. Plus I spent time getting Trish some cool parts, so we should show her off. Additionally, she hasn't had much screen time lately, so let's remedy this. Because she just looks so cool! And angry. Like seriously, who's gonna argue with that? Aside from a weird flying mouth thing called Amasag. My speed has continued to be an obstacle in this forest, and one I've not been able to properly remedy. Like, Trish has always had an average speed stat at best, and the fact that we're up against some super fast guys is not helping. Fun little game to play. Whenever you see a debate or whatnot, listen for any time when anybody says, "the fact is." Because by and large, they don't follow it up with actual facts. They don't know what that phrase actually means. That's what I do anyways. Yeah! There you go, kick his ass, Trish! And then very quickly tag out to Crowley, because I was wrong, and that dragon guy is indeed doing a fair amount of damage. If I hadn't dodged that last move, I'd be toast. French toast, with a little bit of powdered sugar, and a glass of orange juice, and a side of hash browns. That's how seriously I'm taking things now that bird thing's out of the way. I just ordered breakfast in the middle of a fist fight. What are you gonna do about this disrespect, Dragon Dan? Yeah, that's what I thought. And I hope I'm not cutting off my nose to spite my face here, because some of the monsters I'm finding could have some pretty decent skills, but I'm going to focus on leveling my guys the hard way, rather than merging. Like, you see that dot on the lower right? That dictates the direction the minion's stat growth will take, so Crowley gets attack and defense, rather than speed and magic. The game doesn't have effort values like in Pokemon, you just get regular old EXP, and that helps you to grow. Alrighty, up here we've... Oh. Well, in the regular version of the Dragonfly Forest, there's a boss fight here, but we get a new spear, but no boss fight. Isn't that just a hilarious punchline? Get my ass kicked by the game and there's not even a decent payoff. Well, it has a higher attack and all, but it's not going to poison enemies on contact, and that's been doing pretty well for me, so I'm going to keep Night Glow. Besides, Night Glow looks friggin' amazing. It's a Persian scimitar, you know? Which is weird, because this game has an Indian aesthetic, and India was not part of Persia. It was right on the border. I didn't do so well in that fight, so even though Trish got a boatload of EXP out of it, I'm going to make a daring escape and avoid the other guy. Right after I heal her up. With a liquor shot, hip-hop, when we're in your town. And I probably shouldn't do that, because Trish is not a fan of the rap music. And it's twice I've done that as well. Like, I introduced her with an impromptu rap-a-thon. But hey, if someone's gonna do that for you, that is a sign of affection. Like, some girl does the hammer slide up to me, lays down some fresh lyrics about whatever, I will follow her to the ends of the world. Especially if her work samples video games, or movies starring Ray Dennis Steckler. And the fact that I can name more than one of those is remarkably depressing. Ah, crap, it's one of you. But it's only one of you, so I'm going to bring in Nobody and see if we can do this. The newer look Nobody, who has some dragon DNA in him. And he got his wings back! Isn't that great? Holy crap! Well, take that, I guess. That's payback for the previous fights. Jeez. Ooh, and a level, too. Can't complain. That fight was the exact opposite of, like, half of the last episode. I am entirely okay with that. I am not going to push my luck, though, so I'm going this way, except I'm stuck on the scenery. Right. Let's try that again. So, I suspect that there's nothing plot-wise this way. We're just going to find a few extra minions. But that is entirely alright by me. You know, spare parts or new friends. That's what I want. And there's a joke in there about making new friends, but I'll not make it. Pretty sure young Frankenstein already beat me to it. I will talk about the lack of enemies, though. Why isn't the game spawning anything? Because it's not that I don't mind the quick run to the back end of the forest, I just feel like the calm before the storm, you know? Now, there should be a switch down here, and if it is active, it will confirm a hypothesis that every flag raised in the first half of the game is still up in the second half. And it is. So that means that the boss door should already be open. So I could run in and straight through to the end of this forest in... what is it, 6 screens? That's a bit of an oversight. And I'd mention it as a speedrunning trick, but I know the speedrunning trick to this game, and it involves a glitch with the Hunter's Earring. Because usually it sends you to the start of the forest, but you can glitch it to send you to the end of the next forest. So you can jump around the game world doing things like that. But enough of this sinful learning. It's time to fight... Oh, Khan is a good name. That's an elder god name. Like something from Fist of the North Star. And one of those dragon dealies as wingman. He's also eager for screen time. I used one of those guys when I was buffing nobody's stats. That's where he got the segmented eyes and the little wings. But they don't really have anything special about them. Like no special skills or spells that make them worth catching. So he... Oh man, that is adorable! It's not as amazing as the little bug thing that does that pirouette, but that is great. Okay, no, I'm gonna catch this guy and see if I can use him for parts. This guy is super adorable, and I want it on my team. Did he just drain my mana? You did, you little scamp! Yeah, we're definitely gonna make good use out of you. Now, hopefully, he'll be tough enough to take a hit from Levant, and maybe a shot of poison? If not, I can just come back off camera and catch on that way. Well met, sir. I see you have a higher defense than I thought you did. And a lower intelligence level, because you can't drain my mana, fella. See, once again, I'm wondering about how the battle AI is written in this thing, because it seems like it'd be really easy to trip up in certain circumstances. Now being one of them, as you can see. But, like, there are monsters who are set to do the boost my element skill whenever their element is not the current priority. I wonder if you could put 2 monsters that do that in the same enemy team, and just have them overwrite one another's skills endlessly. Because you can. If the enemy does the skill to boost wind, you can boost fire to get your advantage back. Wonder if you could triple the AI to do that for you. I mean, possibly. Because that gecko thing tried to take my mana on several occasions. Which is fine and all, because it looks like it did 0 physical damage. It's just... Come on, game. You should know better than that. Oh, and you're spoiling me! I'm gonna have so many of those lizard guys. It's crazy. Or more likely 3. Because they both showed up with that dragon guy in tow. But hey, it means that Crowley gets a buff too. And that is always good. And I'll come back for that guy. Want to do some more exploring this way. I think that's all I'll be doing, because there's no plot stuff here the first time I came this way, but we'll see how it goes. Did I do that the first time I came here? I want to say I did. It looks so much like an exit, I just want to run into it and see if it does anything. Alright, nothing this way, so back we go. Now I'm going to catch some more lizards. Don't know what I'm going to call it, though. I have a couple of ideas for names. There is something up there! I knew there was the last time I came here, but I figured it'd be a mistake or something, but... How do I get up there? Oh, and you've despawned the other lizard guy. I was gonna catch him and do so many amazing things. Maybe there'll be one through this door, like the bug guy from the first circuit. Alright. Ooh, and it's a different formation. Vaguely. It's still a lizard and a dragon, but the elements are changed. Palette swaps, counters, new materials. So I'm going to do the same as I did before. Catch one, kill one, and to do it, I'm going to lead with Trish, because otherwise I've got the disadvantage. And you might recall from the previous episode, having type disadvantage is a bummer in this game. Alright, water bonus? Water bonus! That's not necessarily a good or a bad thing, because I can't say that I've ever used those. But the only fights where I would find it useful are the boss fights, and they're set up to avoid the elemental change spells. It's like poison and stuff in your regular RPGs. I'm not entirely sure what that dragon special attack did beyond very little. Maybe it had an effect on it that didn't work, like draining HP or whatever. That is a sensational attack! And every time I see these guys animate, I realize I want them to be my entire team. With that said, I don't know how likely that is to happen, because every time I go to buff my team, it seems like the guys I went in with are the best. But I might make an exception for one of these geckos. If you don't mind 90% of the dialogue being me giggling to myself, because those attack animations are just darling. Still no idea what that attack does. Anywho, I'm going to leave with Crowley to get in some levels. I could have brought Lionod with me, but... well, I gave Trish that resist stone ability. I couldn't not use her, right? Oh yeah, that's right! The dragon things have the plus power modifier on their claws. That's how Crowley managed to improve his absorb HP attack. And they also have a cute little horn, which Crowley is somehow wearing forwards like a bony little pompadour. Pompadour with poisonous barbs, which is among the best kinds of pompadour. I mean, it's a pretty awesome hairstyle anyway, but given the fact to just poison people with a headbutt, you're basically in Killer 7 territory. Fun territory to be in. Fun, and confusing, and nightmarish. I am so glad I have that technique, because it saves a lot of money on liquor. Add that to the list of fun things to hear me saying out of context. I think I'm going to KO this guy. I used one of them for Crowley's DNA, so I think I have all of them that I need for now, so... actually, no. Since he's managed to hang on by a little bit, I'm going to capture him. Welcome to Indecision Theatre, everybody. And this is why I cut out all the time I spend on the merging screen, because it's just me staring at numbers for hours on end, trying to get anything I can as high as I can. See, I think the introduction of the metagame, and actually understanding it, is one of the worst things in games like this one. Pokemon was way more interesting when I didn't understand EV training and the stat hierarchy, and I could just use whatever the hell Pokemon I thought were cool. I still use whatever the hell Pokemon I think are cool. It's just that most of them are super tough badasses. But we're not playing Pokemon! We're playing this! Yeah, right, so I tripped up. I was going to say, why didn't Trish get any EXP? But the answer is because I caught both of those guys. My mind's all over the place today. It's what you get for sitting here doing Let's Play videos as a means of procrastinating. But we'll learn more about that next time, because now I'm heading this way. I don't think there's going to be anything here. We just need to go to the boss room, but... well, heck, I'm already here, so why not? Ooh, and I got a key. With nothing to use it on, isn't that great? Can I get up to the little ledge by going this way? I don't think so. I've got to be missing something. Ah, whatever. This end of the forest has been explored, so I'm going to go back to the temple to get my guys merged. See you all in a bit. Alright, we're back. Merging has been done, upgrading has occurred, and I am now ready to go and take on the Wind Boss. And I'm going to make a point of doing it in this episode, because, you know, I actually want to show some progress today. And on that note, Trish is on the bench for now. She's been updated too, but we're going to fight a boss that she's weak to, so we'll bring her back at a later time. And I'm genuinely surprised that I'm still able to talk strategy and the game instead of just rambling on about whatever like when I play LSD. The boss is off to the right, and the enemy spawn rate thus far means that we have 4 potential encounters, plus 1 optional. Hopefully we're not going to see anything that requires Trish, although, given how the game's been treating me so far, I can imagine that I will. Yeah! That is exactly what I wanted to see as we go to the boss. Oh, by the way, I used some weird kind of Nagi magic to beat both of those fights at the same time. Sure hope I remember to edit that bit down, or else you just sat through 3 minutes of silence. Awesome! You might notice my firefly count has gone up. I caught both of the flying things that we've seen. I don't think I'll end up using them, but they do have a ridiculous amount of speed, which will be pretty handy if I can shuffle some of it towards Lynod. Using the flying guys largely relies on me tolerating the weird things the game does with their skins. What are you doing here? There aren't meant to be any spawns here? I suppose it's a last minute shot in the arm for any fire minions you have to put guys there. Anyway, the game isn't sure what to do with the flying mouth monsters when you merge them. Do you have something against me pointing out technical limitations, game? Or is this your way of telling me I'm not strong enough yet? Anyone up here want to complete the set? Oh, you do. Well, good for you, buddy. I'm going this way. So, the flying monster guys. When you use them in a merge, the texture for the inside of their mouth covers the entire underside of the minion, and it looks pretty silly on anything that isn't those flying mouth monsters. And since they don't have super good stats like my existing minions, I don't think I'll be using them. And I hope that was worth the, 3-minute wait in terms of record time? Now, excuse me while I save my game. Look at me rotating my saves like I know what I'm doing. And, you know, like I didn't fill up most of my memory card with data from SmackDown 2 and GTA London. But whatever. Let's go fight a wind monster. After a Metal Gear-style monologue explaining precisely what's going on. Probably. Seems to be how this game do. Oh, hey, it's Cornbread! How's it going, man? I haven't seen you since I kicked your ass 6 or 7 times in a row the last time I was here. And I refuse to believe that we didn't already know that our best friend likes our girlfriend. We can figure it out using the power of anime tropes. And... okay, so this is a problem with having a silent protagonist. Especially one that doesn't move around a lot like Levant. I've no idea what he just said. Apparently it upset the bird though, so there is that. Oh, it's you. Now see, I'm in 2 minds about how this works. Clearly this is an illusion, because we've seen Kelmar before now. And we know where he is. He's outside Garai's house turned to stone. So clearly this is an illusion. But the last boss showed us that he can bring people's thoughts to life. So this is an illusion of something true. I don't know whether to be upset by this. And I suppose I don't have to think about it because here comes the boss monster. Right after a loading screen that totally doesn't break flow. Now, there had to be a better way of optimizing this, surely, because this is kind of silly. Oh, I see. It was re-angling the camera. That was worth a pause in the gameplay. Hopefully it was loading the fight, too, because if it didn't, that'd be a wasted opportunity. Alright. The wind boss. And while the last few bosses have let you get in a free hit with Levant before subbing in your minion, this guy is way too fast, and he's tuned to destroy Levant, so you should go straight for your heavy hitters. I mean, specifically, the actual minion part of this fight has a series of status elements that will stun lock you and take you down in a single volley. We're going to use Crowley to begin with, so we can abuse our type advantage. And oh my god, it's... I got nothing. Messed up though. I like the caterpillar body and exposed spinal column. That is pretty great monster design. I also like that if we're just going to sit here trading blows like that, I'm going to come out on top. Your famous last words, I know, so let's see what he does now. Ah, okay. So this is the start of the combo that will kill Levant in a single run. First he puts you to sleep, then he heals himself, then he hits you with a super powerful physical attack. Like, I don't know if it ignores armor, or if it's just obnoxiously strong, but that will beat Levant pretty handily. And if it doesn't, he will just put you back to sleep and tries again. We're doing okay though. And now my strategy here is not the best, nor particularly advisable during gameplay. I'm not going to tag in Levant to heal Crowley. I'm going to keep pushing him until he gets KO'd, then use the Phoenix Down item, then tag him back in. That way I only need to take 1 turn to heal, and not 2, wherein I would die. Oh, yes! I'm not in the clear yet, but the hard part of the fight is done. That guy is an absolute pain in the ass. When you thought the fire boss was a wake-up fight, that guy is way, way worse. My plan is the same, however. We're reviving Crowley and send him back into the fight. The wind boss can't do a great deal of damage to Levant, but we're still going to use the fire minion to press the advantage. And that is a line right out of Darkest Dungeon. I've been watching a lot of it lately, because I really like a lot of the concepts in the game, and I've kind of decided that I want the narrator of Darkest Dungeon to narrate my life. I mean, it used to be Vincent Price. Like, I know he's dead and all, but if there's anyone who's going to come back as a wraith or whatever, you know it would be Vincent Price. Come on, Wind Boss. You can't just dodge my attacks like that. Or you can, but you're not winning this one. It's all about me. I'm going to use Crowley's tail attack, because it just looks super cute. I mean, there's no difference in power that I know, it's just funny looking to see this big brawling monster try and twerk someone to death. And the game's got a lot of that if you think about it. There's a lot of tonal difference between how a monster looks and what it does. Like that Nautilus thing looked like it could be really cool and threatening, and then they just slap fight you to death. That wasn't the best, but it got me an extra hit or so. Besides, this guy isn't going to do a great deal of damage without his minion. Like, he can only do a series of pre-baked non-elemental moves. Nice! And I beat him on my first and not third attempt. Assuming I edited the commentary and video well enough, you will never see the join. And that is also pretty nice. And I probably could have handed it off to Lynod or nobody to finish the actual wind boss after we dealt with the minion, but I think Crowley needs it. I mean, imagine how well he'd done if he hadn't lost his EXP stock in the middle of that fight, you know? Also, I really like this version of Cornbread's theme tune. Like, the regular one sounds exactly like what it is, the goofy tune for the comic relief character, but this sinister version is fantastic. I can't wait to hear what Spider Forest sounds like. And you know what? You're alright, Kelmar. I'm sure we can keep being friends, especially if you're going to turn into a progression item. I love when my friends do that. It's just a shame I have to summon a bunch of monsters and kill them all first. In any case, we have 3 gems, and there's only 1 left to collect. And we're getting pretty close to the end of the game. What an exciting time.
Man shall obtain yet another fruit of knowledge, but it shall bear the seeds of responsibility.
Immediately, I want to say that the game is talking about love at that point. I don't know how, exactly. It just is. Maybe it's talking about the scene we have with Kelmar, how we've gained the knowledge of his jealousy, and it's up to us to deal with it. Because I don't think Kelmar knows that we know, if that makes sense. It was just a spirit playing tricks on us. Man, this is just like watching my stories. And you know, I don't quite get why each gem is what the game says. Like, fair play to them for trying to mix it up a little bit, because collecting the 4 things of Earth, Fire, Wind, and Water is a pretty generic plot. Like I say, I did that in Gunstar Heroes on the Mega Drive. And then I went, wait, didn't the same company do the same plot in Light Crusader, which is also on the Mega Drive? But at least they tried. And at least everything else in the game was pretty amazing. Speaking of, I wonder what they're going to do to make the Spider Forest sort of denote that we've moved into the evil version. Because it just looks too pretty, you know? Maybe I'm just biased, because it's one of the best areas in the game. I don't know. We'll see it when we get there, I guess. Oh, and that's a good note. This isn't a test for us, it's a test for the minions, because they're the ones doing all the legwork. Anyways, join us next time when we venture into the final dungeon. And until next time, goodbye!